Hello, this is Dominic Felgrand, your local lazy gamer, coming at you once more with a wee bit of RPG Maker XP. Today, we're going to be playing we're not playing, we're going to be working a wee bit on the conversation between us and God. I haven't really thought much about it because, you know, the excessive grinding we've been doing for the last week. Boss, it should be doable. We have a general idea of what we're doing. We just have to make it work, which means we have a lot of dialogue and a lot of things to work out. So you watch the animes. Yeah, the Lieutenant anime is fantastic. I can't wait to see how it goes, because it seems pretty obvious there's going to be a lot of conflict between him and his ideals. Though I have this feeling he's going to be supported by his teammates a lot. They probably want him to get laid, but none of them have the courage to say it because he's super good at his job. As for the VTuber anime, I absolutely adore it. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, but I'm happy it is, you know? It's kind of just this fun little jab. Immediately I see you joined and started planting. Wonder how long it will be before we can finally get some more upgrades for the farm. Oh, Jack Cat over here on my end fell over. Remember, I have a squish mallow that Jack Cat was based on over here that I squeeze. I crush it as often as I can. So much so that it now has a little butthole in the wrong location. One at a time seems like the blonde guy is kind of siding with him. I fully believe the blonde guy would 100% side with him. Because I believe that the blonde guy is probably very... idolizes the main character. And probably pities him as well, I imagine. Mostly because of that one line of dialogue. Don't hesitate, because the moment you do, it will kill you. If not physically, mentally. Like, that's a very dangerous line. So I fully believe he's going to get absolutely laid. I wonder what the Demon King is like. You think the Demon King is going to be like this tired old grandpa that's going to like dose and baby him? I kind of hope so. Oh. Loving the anime. Just have to pause every 15 seconds when something is embarrassing. That's fair. That is very fair. Right. I believe we need to create a new vent up here. Actually, I need to determine where we come in on. I think we're going to come in here. I'll double check the tree space. Edit. Come on. There we go. We're right here at the bottom. That's fine. Once we get in here, it's a cutscene and then we leave. Audio just exploded at one end of the other phone. Fair enough. Okay. I'm actually happy with this appearance. Because it has that disjointed look. Like someone tried to create something, then got lazy. It's just a rebuilding of concepts and bare minimalism. And then we get in here and it's the actual chamber. Like he ultimately didn't give a shit about outside. Because he just wants to stay inside all the time. That's what I feel is going on here. Also, because of how it's set up, I'm thinking about making him the god of rain. Maybe the god of water. So anyway. Right. We need something. Right, back up here. We know where we land. So let's have us move. We'll wait for 10 frames. We'll set move route to turn left, turn right, turn up, then move up 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that'll put us about here. We put another wait of 8 frames. True. We should only be here once. In fact, almost, this is all introduction, as you can see down here on the bottom left. We're still in the introduction phase of the game. We're probably going to be in the introduction phase for a little bit more, because we have to meet our what's it called, our HUD world, and we have to meet the person who's going to manage the HUD world for us. Not HUD world, HUD zone, HUD. Excuse me. I'm still working on the details of that, but we should be fine. God, that was that hit me hard there for a sec. Yeah, we should only be here once. Because in the grand scheme of things, this god is just going to give us the rundown on what's going on. Inform us of what could happen, what is happening, and what we could do, and what we should do. Okay. Now the question is, how do I make this conversation? The dialogue has to be very particular, I feel. You finally arrived. Okay, that'd be a good interruption. Comes in, waits, looks, walks up to, waits. We finally arrived. We need those. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need more than that. What's 4 by 5? 20. Okay, apply. Okay. Since we're going to land here, let's see what it looks like. Oh, the doll's already here. Oh, I must have the self switch on. Wait. Oh, I didn't set the autoplay. Okay. We'll make you B. Okay. Auto run. Okay. Done some progress in EDF and fell asleep on the desk. Fuck. You finally arrived. We kind of just shot our heads left and right. Not good. We're going to have to extend that. Let's give it a second. First things first. New page. Self switch A. Throw self switch. A. Apply. Okay. And edit. Wait. Ace. Wait. Ace. Wait. Ace. That might not be enough. But let's see what happens. Okay. Still not enough. But we're doing better. So let's see now. Chamber. We have to count this now. So that's 4, ace. Ace 8, 16. Plus 8, 24. Plus ace 32. It is 32. Let's see if this works. There we go. We're still a little short, but you arrived. Coming up on screen as we're stopping to move. Looks really good to me. So we're going to leave it there. We're going to leave the wait a little too short for the text box to arrive. Okay, the auto switch is working. The event hasn't triggered. Perfect. Okay. How far did you get in EDF? I'm looking forward to playing it again. God, that game, it eats up your time. Wonder where that was. Yeah, everything is still correct on my end. Sorry, I just had to check some stuff. Right, so perfect. Chapter 34-ish. You're loving the slugger shotgun too. Had to redo 1 to 9 on hard though. Motivated you to switch. I'm happy to hear that you've taken up the hard mode challenge on your first playthrough. I was unsure if you went back to the missions or if you actually went forward as is. The fact you went back, fair fucks to you. And 34 is a great place to end up on, especially since you basically restarted. So you're loving the slugger. Was it the slugger too, or the? Yeah, the slugger shotgun too. The slugger shotgun's really interesting because of the punch through. But because I like to engage from a distance, I end up not using it very much anymore. That's going to change in the near future, I imagine. Because some weapons feel better for certain engagements, other weapons feel better for other engagements. And I imagine if you have enough armor, you stop caring about getting shot, and you just run right up to him. Right. Well, who are you? That should be a good text, because the idea of what are you? No, where are you? It finally arrived. I should probably put in a question mark. Let's see now. Is it down here? No, it's over here. Show animation. Player. No. Right, I think I have an idea here to make it more animated. Let's see. Finally arrived. We'll put in an exclamation here. Then we'll put in a set move route. Turn left. Turn right. Put a weight of 4. A weight of 4. Turn down. Okay. Edit. No. Right here. We'll put another weight of 10. And we'll put in another animation of question mark. Question mark shouldn't be there. Cut you out there. Paste. Then we put in one more weight. I have to put in 2 weights. A weight of 8. Okay. 4, 4. A weight of 10. Apply. Okay. Now let's see what that looks like. Okay. Finally arrived. Where are you? Okay, we could probably increase the wait time for the last one here. Increase that to 12. Okay. But the tanks, grenadiers, Jesus. Yeah, the grenadiers are they're amazing. I still stand by, if you have a mission where you have to fight just nothing but grenadiers, bring a decoy if you have it. Because they'll run right up to the decoy and they'll just explode in quantities, mass quantities. Oh yeah, Chat Cat's based on a Squishmallow plushie that used to smell like strawberries. Now it doesn't. It's probably about time I washed it. I had it for a year or two now. Haven't washed it once. Doesn't smell like marshmallows anymore. It's not the only one I have. I've like a dozen of them. Or well, a half dozen of them. They're sitting in a bag somewhere. All different shapes and sizes. Yeah, the grenadiers are a nightmare to fight, but god, the decoys actually have an excessively good use when you have them up. Well, since I lost the smell, I kind of should wash it. The reason why I didn't wash it until now was because of the smell. But now that the smell is gone, there's no point in holding on, not washing it anymore. Stank kitty. Stank kitty. I'm gonna have to shove you into the washing machine. Isn't that right, you stank kitty? Could probably shove my body pillow cat in there as well. That hasn't been washed in a very long time. Okay. Show text. Let's see if I have that spelling right. Oh, more or less. I just have to move that I over one. That's going to be a nice little jab at people that are afraid of things they don't understand or don't know. Okay. Then we do... Let's see now. The God event. Evie. Wow, people actually came in. Oh, hello, Aboba. How's life kicking you? Are you having fun? Then we'll do show animations. Actually, let's have a look at the database for animations. Here we go. Where's the play button? Here we go. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. I don't know why I have that there. Ow. Ah! That's actually kind of funny. That's not bad. Oh, this is going to be loud. Watch. Thanks for the Russian translator. Oh, yeah, that's no bother. Been there a while. I don't know if it's still working. Yesterday, the Russian translator broke. Actually, the Japanese translator broke first, then the Russian translator broke. Don't know why. It just gave up after like half an hour. Oh, SP recovery is good. Okay, I think I'll go with SP recovery 1 for what we're about to do. God, that's loud. I love that animation, look. Absolutely stupid, but I love it. Blink is not bad. Oh, resist is interesting. So I think resist or SP1. We'll have to see what it looks like. Let's see, show process, force, change, parameters. Event God. SP recovery, okay. Then we do control self switch B, okay. Apply. Okay. No, wait. I can't control it from here. Okay. Fuck self switch. We're going to have to make a new switch. Intro. God. Change. Apply. Okay. Apply. Okay. Then we go back into U. We need to delete you because we don't have a switch on there. We need control switch. Intro God change. Okay. Apply. Okay. Save. Play. Where are you? Ah, forgive me. I forgot your kind fear what they cannot perceive. Oh, actually, I like that. And that's a literal doll, that's not a child. The wall of text kills it. Yeah, that is a problem. Once I start rambling and I keep going, the translators struggle to keep up. Wonder if I can fix that. Another time. Then we'll show text. I am named. Do we have? What's a good name for a god of rain? Maybe the god of spring? God of spring sounds fun. Ah. I am named Fred. That'll be our stand-in name for now. AMS Chan. Nah. MHM. I'll put that in the back burner. No. Better? Yeah, I know that, but I want to come up with a name that would be suitable for a god of that position. I look into various god names and such like that. Concepts, pantheons. A lot of things I haven't looked into. Hmm. No, no, that doesn't sound right. A temporary vessel. To briefly converse with a mortal. Okay. Cordelia. Well, I haven't even decided what the gender is. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The doll is just a doll. It's not an indication of the gender. If there even is one. I haven't even thought about the concept of gods having genders. Did they even need this? You arrived. Where are you? Ah, forgive me. I forgot your kind fear what they cannot perceive. Better? A doll. A temporary vessel, good enough to briefly converse with Mer... Ooh, there's a cut off there. You see that converse is cut off? Hmm. Okay. I probably need... Let's go with a 4-frame waist right there. We'll cross that bridge. Right now, things like names and locations are placeholders. Like, we still haven't done, you know, country A or country B in that previous cutscene. Okay, that 4-second wait might have been better, good for it. Yeah, that should be good for it. Okay. Right, let's see. Oh, accidentally hit the wrong thing. Now, we need you again. Doll. We'll insert a move down for the doll. We'll insert a weight of 4 frames. And we'll insert no, that'll do. Okay. We have the start of our conversation. We have the introduction to our god right there. Almost done. Then we have a lot of dialogue. Right, where do we go from here? Wait for frames, text. Control self switch A is on, that's fine. A temporary vessel, good enough to briefly converse with a morsel, that's fine. Oh, we're 100% going to forget the placeholders. We're going to get random. If anyone ever actually plays this all the way through, they're going to find like placeholder A, placeholder B. Fucking Fred. I'm probably going to name this god Fred as a placeholder. And I'm probably going to forget to change the name from Fred to whatever it's supposed to be. And if anyone ever plays the demo of this, once we actually get this patched up, people are just going to be thinking, the god is Fred. Fred the doll. To be fair, Fred is a very powerful entity, but still. Because still, remember when we found Fred on that one moon, praising the sun in a pool of lava? And then he blew up the entire solar system? Fred is dangerous. Fred is very dangerous. We might save Fred's name for something else. For now, we need placeholder. We'll ask now the second question. Then show text. I am, for the sakes of placeholder, we'll call him Rain. I am Drizzle. No. Like I said, Fred is the place, so I need a list of placeholders. Maybe I'll follow the... Yeah, I think I'll follow the Vikings god mythologies. Because the Viking gods, contrary to modern beliefs, they don't actually have a title of what they govern. Like, Odin isn't the god of war. If Odin was anything, he's the god of poetry. if I remember correctly, Thor isn't the god of thunder. If he was the god of anything, he'd be the god of goats, which is a rather funny thing to say. It's like modern interpretations of the gods have applied a role onto Norse gods, but the Norse gods don't actually have a role. They just exist. Funny enough, Norse gods are also mortal. Not in that they're not gods, but that in they age. The only way they stop themselves from aging is by eating from the fruit of Yggdrasil. Odin is the only one that figured out how to circumvent it by impaling himself on Yggdrasil and letting the sap bleed into his body. But that's why Odin's the only old god, because it took so long for the sap to take effect that his body aged. So now he's permanently old, while everyone else continues to eat the fruit to make them look young. If I remember my lore right. So maybe I'll follow that concept of gods from Norse mythology, which are not actually a god of a concept, but they are simply a god by the vanity of their existence. But that might defeat certain purposes. In that way, we'd have to justify the existence of the gods through breeding. Maybe ascension? Other people can become gods? Hollywood's influence public perception on mythos. I don't think it's just Hollywood. I think it's just general perspective. When a lot of people look at gods, they think this is a god of something. And I think in some cases that makes sense. It's like some people, in some mythos, when a being or spirit ascends to godhood, it's because they ascended for a reason, a virtue, or because they had to play a certain role. Like, I think there's, in one case, it's not in gods, but if I remember correctly, there's supposed to be an old lore about a spirit ascending to the role of the Crimson Bird in the Four Cardinals. You know, the bird, was it the Firebird of the south, the west, east? I don't remember. There was the Firebird, there was the turtle, there was the white tiger, and then there was I think the dragon was of the center. And what was the other one? Don't remember. Anyway, the Four Cardinals. There was a story about that. Though I still, my favorite modern misconception will always be the Chinese Empress Phoenix. Does not exist. The Chinese Empress Phoenix is 3 birds in a trench coat. It is Feng Yong, which are 2 separate birds, and the Crimson Bird, which is another completely separate bird. Feng Yong is not a god or a phoenix, has no fire abilities, but they are immortal. But they do not reincarnate. Once they die, they're dead forever. They always come in pairs because they're so old, no one has ever seen children, so they've always been paired. So Feng is the male and Hyung is the female of the species. So they're both together called Feng Hyung. And the Crimson Bird is not a god or immortal, it's a spirit. It's not even a bird. It's shaped like a bird, but it's a spirit. Its only fire abilities is that its tail is on fire. That's it. Other than the summer being a little hotter because its power is a little stronger during summer, that's it. That's all its fire related abilities. It's literally just a big red bird with tail feathers on fire. That's it. And at some point those legends got mixed together and they produced the Chinese Empress Phoenix. And that actually bled backwards back into the country because apparently a lot of youths don't know about the original 3 birds. They just thought all of them were one and the same because outside media coming in taught them that, and because there was that general hatred in the country for that one particular not hatred. I was taught it was hatred, like taught, not as in I was thinking, but rather I was educated. But I think it's a bit more like disinterest on a social level. I don't know. It's kind of weird how that works out. a lot of perspectives on mythos shifts drastically based on our interactions with other interpretations. I think the misconception of the tail made them think it was a firebird, and the misconception of Feng Hyung being a red bird with a yellow head mixed the two together, because the vermilion bird, which is the crimson bird I was talking about, that is a pure red bird with tail feathers on fire. Its description is almost identical to Feng Hyung, which is a red bird with the similar tail feathers, but they're not on fire, and a yellow head. They probably got meshed together, and the idea that the tail feathers governed fire and that the bird governed summer, as well as Feng Hyung being the empress birds, because if an empress is ever seen with the birds, they're never considered impure or corrupt. The stories, the legends kind of meshed and created the Empress Phoenix, because our interpretation of a firebird is the phoenix. In fact, in many of our mythos, we kind of perverse a lot of firebird related stuff with the term phoenix. For example, what's it called? Enko? For the sake of the conversation, I'm going to go and call it Enko. I am 100% wrong. I'm guessing this is a placeholder name. Enko, placeholder name for the sake of the conversation. Enko is the soul of Ra. And a lot of people, like, Ra literally ripped his soul out and it became its own entity. A massive burning bird-shaped soul. And because it's a giant firebird, people just stuck the name Phoenix on it. And now there's debates about whether or not the Egyptians even called it a phoenix. Because people think that the name Enko, or whatever the name of the god is Phoenix. But it's not Phoenix, it's the name of the god, which happens to be Ra's soul. I think there's a ton of examples like that, where a modern myth reaches back in time and corrupts a past legend. Now, there's always going to be debates about that. There will always be debates about that. But there's this concept that, for some reason, the term phoenix has pervaded throughout history in countless regions that have never even related to each other, and the only relation between them is that their birds are on fire. So you're going to get a lot of that, a lot of those misconceptions. I think another misconception that came out of the Chinese lore was that their blue dragon, the Emperor's dragon, was violent. It wasn't violent, except for that one lore. But they're apparently surprisingly gentle but prideful. And they don't govern storm, they govern rain. Yeah, one specific firebird is a phoenix, but not all firebirds are phoenix. Exactly. Like, what constitutes a phoenix in modern time is basically a self-imposed reincarnation through combustion. A self-imposed combustion. Like, that's all that constitutes a phoenix. The bird has to die and then burst into flames and then produces a little baby. That's it. That's the only thing that constitutes a phoenix. Not even a firebird. Some of the earliest written phoenixes didn't even have fire in their abilities. The only fire was when they blew up in flames. So you don't even need to be a firebird. It just needs to be a mortal bird with the immortality through reincarnation through self-burning. But again, myths and legends change, and certain myths can perverse other myths based on similarities. And the only thing that really matters is mass perspective. Like the Chinese Empress bird, the Chinese Empress Phoenix exists now because people think it does. All because of a misconception of lore. If I remember correctly, that misconception with the Chinese Phoenix Empress bird came from the Christians that traveled around China at the time to learn the language and bring that information back to England, I believe it was. They were learning the language and the legend, but they're doing it all at the same time, so a lot of misconceptions came about, and then they brought that information back, and then that information kind of spread, producing modern myths, and then it goes from there. Okay, so everyone I know, everyone says Cú Chulainn, but the second C is actually silent, so it's actually Cú Chulainn. His official name is Cú Chulainn. I don't think it's that it's turned into another thing. I think there's just different descriptions of the pike throughout the years. And I don't think anyone can really agree on what it is. Like, one pike is one spear, like one definition. They're both introduced as a spear. It's always been called a spear because the idea of a pike didn't exist in the time frame, even though the description was equal to that of a pike. The only confirmed description that everyone agree on was that it was so large and so heavy that it couldn't be thrown normally. And then you have two major descriptions I know of. The one regular looking spear, which I don't know why people think that can't be thrown, that has multiple blades on the head, like not just one, but like a dozen. And then, without any real thought of why, once he impales it in someone, the blades just explode outwards in a kind of like a... I don't think there's any real description of it, just that the blades just extend. And then you have the other description that I adore. The one where it's just this massive singular pike made from the bone of a sea serpent that has the special trait where all these little long needles erupt from the head like the catching mechanism of a great serpent, and it impales itself into the enemy. And it's like, I like that description because it's massive, it's big, it fits the initial description that it's heavy and can't be thrown because it's a pike, it's a big ass fucking pike. It has buoyancy, which is actually canon. The spear is heavy, but it has buoyancy. But the magical spear is just the magical spear. And then you have the pike that was made from the bone of a sea serpent. It's like, that would have buoyancy, it's a sea serpent, you know? So yeah, my favorite description is always going to be the bone of the sea serpents. While I do know a lot of people also know of the ornamental spear that just has a lot of heads on it, that just moves to extend outwards once they're impaled in something. Keep in mind that the ability to extend the heads when impaled, regardless of which version you'll go with, is done with a special throwing technique that only 4 people that I'm aware of in the mythos know, and all of them, bar one, was killed by that self-same technique. In fact, Cú Chulainn killed 2 of them. His master was the first one. She taught it to him on the condition that he used it to kill her. And he had to fulfill that condition even though he didn't want to. And then I think the other time he used it was against his son. His son was trying to kill him in one-on-one combat. One of his allies had dropped the spear into the river upstream, and it floated down to him. When his son was going to kill him, he plucked it out of the river and threw it into his son, but he threw it with the throwing technique, so it killed his son with that. Then there was one of the deaths of Cú Chulainn, one of the many deaths of Cú Chulainn, where a guy who was basically Cú Chulainn's metaphorical clone, who lived a similar life to Cú Chulainn, learned Cú Chulainn's technique through the same technique Cú Chulainn used to learn his life, which was through the Salmon of Knowledge. And that included the guy learning about the throwing technique. And so when Cú Chulainn threw the spear, the guy grabbed the spear, got on the ground, threw it back, and Cuchulainn saw the spear, got impaled by the spear, and was either killed by the spear, or he got whisked to Tir na Nog by a fairy friend who asked for permission from his family. So yeah, there's roughly 4 people that I'm aware of in the lore that knows the throwing technique, and every single time one shows up, they die. So now if you take the example of Norse, we can call the god anything. Could give it a hard to pronounce name just to be called something silly. But I also have to take into consideration what type of logic the world needs to have, or the gods need to have. Like, do they need to be a single entity? Do they need to exist for a concept? Are they born from people's wishes? Are they born from the gods breeding, or are people ascended to godhood? If people are ascended to godhood, I feel a lot of these problems shouldn't exist. At the same time, a lot of the problems should be worse. I like to think the gods were born into this, but what produced the gods? I could take no game, no life's logic, where the gods were either born from the planet, or were born from the fervent wishes of there was if I remember correctly, there were 2 ways gods were born in No Game No Life. One was from the planet, and that produced and those gods produced their own races to worship them. And then there was the other god, the god of games, who was born from the wishes of a child. In which case the races weren't, in this case, the race created the god instead of the gods creating the race. Which is kind of an inversion of what should be. I like that concept. I like the legend of Cuchulainn's one-shot spear. Yeah. It's kind of fun. Cuchulainn's spear, I mean. That is the concept of power scaling in this world. There's going to be 2 power scaling. One is the power they're born with, and one is the power that they acquire through faith and belief. And that's why this god is the dictator god. Not this god, but the god we're going to be talking about in the future. Because the dictator god, they managed to spread their influence across the world, or across the continent. And because of that, they grew rapidly within the pantheon, and now sit on top of it all. But at the same time, that means that the gods are at the whims of the immortals, which in that sense is kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult because if I make it like that, I have to justify that all the gods will be struggling to acquire the love of humanity. I could make it so that the reason why the gods haven't really exploded is because they are always in competition with one another. But after the machinations of that one god, who brought various kind of techniques and world improvement benefits to the planetary world and other stuff, made the people depend on her as a god, a blesser, or so on and so forth. Like the tyrant god exists in various forms, in various religions across the world. In this world, she provided the summoning techniques that produced heroes, and these heroes are used to produce products that will enrich the lives of the denizens of the people. So in this case, people worship her because she brings them benefits through these summon beasts, which are us. Then in another part of the world, or any part of the world, she also offers her blessing to people who is exceptionally high faith towards her, and she often does it in war. And she'll do it for anyone on any side of the war. So in the middle of a war, there could be someone who just gains a massive boon from God, and suddenly it could shift the tides of war completely. And because of that, faith in her kind of exploded on the battlefield, because the idea that if you fervently believe and pray to her, she might one day bless you with the strength to win your war, to bring victory, or at the very least survive. You talk about ascension. What if through action in the other world, the more people we influence, our legend is born? Ascension, since they can't go toe-to-toe with the evil god. Well, the idea here isn't to go toe-to-toe with the evil god. The idea here is to destroy one aspect of the evil god's power. The gods here, their idea is that the idea they're introducing to you is that they can grant a wish if they can defeat this god and compile their power. But the reality is, even if we take away this continent's belief in that god, assuming we could, but if we could, that's only one continent. There's going to be plenty of other continents and countless people who are still going to carry the faith. It's not going to be one story that defeats the god, it's going to be many stories that defeat the god. So we're never actually going to meet that tyrant god in this game. In fact, the machinations of the gods is just bringing us into the game and have us struggle. The fact that we succeed is just an added benefit. A bonus, if you will. So yeah, it's the idea is that this world is just one of countless conflicts, and we're just struggling against one of countless problems. And our one action is just one action. At the same time, all around the world, there's other people fighting their individual aspect. What's important is whether or not collectively we can bring down the god's power enough that the other gods can overthrow her. But because we're focusing on one person, we're not going to see that. Or at least we shouldn't see that. Not yet. I haven't really decided fully on how far into that aspect we're going to go. But our fight is going to be centered entirely around trying to overthrow the kingdom itself. To stop this summoning nonsense. But remember, if we're stopping in this summoning nonsense, we're actually going against even the rebel forces who are actively fighting against the god. Because there's massive benefits to humans. So to using humans. Sorry, not humans. Summoning beasts, products. Because we bring all sorts of benefits, which includes... Hey, Cthulhu! Which includes war. Imagine if you can take a person, break him down into a weapon that could shoot a massive fireball once every 20 minutes. A colossal fireball. You could use it like a siege weapon. It's like... that type of boon is massive. And everyone is going to want a bit of that. And if you take away that resource from people, including the rebels, you're making yourself an active enemy. Yeah, exactly. And it's not like we're going to be personally interacting with all the other unknown forces. Like, there's the rebel forces, but those rebel forces are fighting against in a different continent. Those rebel forces might not like the fact that we're doing all this. They might hate it, in fact. Because they might have a contract with this empire to get super weapons to continue the fight. And then once we destroy this, all of a sudden there's no super weapons in the rest of the world. Everyone's fighting over what little they have left and trying to preserve what they have and trying to steal from each other what they can. Whoever has the most product weapons, well, there you go, you know. But yeah, This game is just going to be one piece of a massive puzzle. And we're probably never going to see any more of that because that'll require work. Excuse me. Why do I have this up? Here we go. Should I make a body for Fred and just have its name? I should probably make a character for Fred. That way it'd be easier to write the name for Fred. Okay. Oh yeah. God. Game development is really fucking grueling, as you said. But again, this is fun. I like it. Because it forces you to think. And the idea is that you have to kind of know where to place things, I feel. But at the same time, I think the more vague or simple the idea, the story, the less you have to worry about. And because I'm trying to create this overarching world, while at the same time creating this very small, very contained story, it's I'm kind of just putting more effort into it than I need to. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I'm not too sure about that last sentence. Well, it kind of flows better than the other with the other two. Look around, look up, step up. You finally arrived. Where are you? Ah, forgive me. I've got your kind fear what they cannot perceive. Better? Doll? A temporary vessel good enough to briefly... Did I say brief fly? Converse with a mortal. Who are you? Ah, ha! You're right. I never introduced myself. I am Fred. Fred, I am the one who called you to this world. The one who provided you with your new vessel. The one who wishes for your aid. Yeah, when you think about it, I'm kind of doing everything in the reverse order. Well, maybe build the story, make the characters, then the plot, then the game. You're absolutely right. We're absolutely doing everything in the wrong order. At some point, you're supposed to be doing the game mechanics in opposite order. I know, it's weird. Fred is crazy. I don't know. I kind of like Fred. Fred can be a reoccurring joke, I think. Yeah, I'm going to make Fred a reoccurring joke. Fred is going to be like this entity that exists across all timelines in every dimension. And he's always there. We never know where. until we find him. And then he hurts us. Like when we found him on that one planet, praising the sun, and he blew it up. I almost want to just keep Fred as the name. It's a very blunt name, right? For now, it's a placeholder. We'll see in the future. But as you know, placeholders have a tendency to become permanent. So, who knows? Excuse me. Kind of like Patches. Pretty much. Pretty much, actually. So, in Patches' case, he was like a reoccurring entity that existed in every cycle. Because I don't, if I remember correctly, Dark Souls doesn't move, doesn't, you know, go through time. It's constantly moving forward. It's just everything's being recreated. Didn't Dark Souls 3 kind of imply that Patches in Dark Souls 3 was the same Patches in one of the older Dark Souls? Or am I misinterpreting that? Who knows? I still think Patches is awesome. Ultimate being Fred. The Fred joke started with Flame Swordsman, believe it or not. I believe it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Flame Swordsman was called Fred. And because of Fred, the common thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Was to summon Flame Swordsman with Instant Fusion. And Instant Fusion was pot noodles. My joke was that you could call Fred with a cup of pot noodles. I'm going to keep that as a joke, actually. This god is very powerful, fearsome, has withstood the explosion of the sun countless times. Dwells in magma, omniscient. Skinny. Its name, Fred. Fred is a dangerous entity. We're going to have to remember that. On this world, Fred is Fred is the one that sets us on our way. He's the one that gives us the option. He never really tells us what occurs because of the option, but he just gives us the option. Ah, scratchy nose. Why am I here again? So. Backslash N bracket 10 close bracket Fred. Yes. Do a weight of 20 just because. I want this name Fred just gonna sit there. This is gonna have to change in the future, but here we go. It's used in 0.0000000000000000000000001% of his power. Shaggy has a worthy opponent. Oh wow, wow! Scooby-Doo has a Fred in their dimension, don't they? I don't know, but I feel like Scooby-Doo has a Fred in their dimension. Okay. It's only in base form. Shaggy and Fred in the same dimension. You know, if you name your pet Scooby, you would actually effectively recreating the half of the the mystery machine group, because because Fred here gave us the dog pet. So name it Scooby. You have Fred, Shaggy, Scooby. Excuse me. Velma and Daphne would have to be set somewhere. Scrappy would probably be like an enemy opponent, jealous of Scooby's existence. We have to eat Scrappy to get a superpower. See how dangerous Fred is? Fred exists in every dimension. He leads Shaggy. He leads. He praises the sun in exploding universes. He appears in countless realities, eating pot noodles as a fire swordsman. We can just replace all with Fred. That'd be brilliant in a terrible way. We'd have to make two characters, one called Daphne, one called Velma, and just shove them in a corner somewhere in the world. Right, okay. I could make an Easter egg. Actually, I could. That'd be a funny little Easter egg. I agree. No, that sentence can come later. If he hits Fred, he'd be teleported to the sky like in TS Oblivion. You mean with the giants? Right. Right. Now what am I looking for? Oh, we need to figure out how to progress this conversation. Give us a sec. So right here, we introduce Fred. Wait 20 frames, Fred's question mark. Yes. Another 20 frames, it's nothing. And then we start the conversation. Okay, so how do we start this introduction? this sentence here, what's going on, agreed to come to this world, but everything is trying to kill me. That will do later. Which means right now this is here. How do we progress this conversation? Okay, then right here, see, we're right here at this point. God is here. So we create an event here. New event. New event. Then we'll do this one as, scroll down here. Intro. Pet. Summon. God. Okay. Light. Now where's our pet? Actually, let's go back to you. Yeah, that looks like a wolf, not a dog. So it must be a monster type. Here we go, beast. Okay. Okay. Save. We also have to figure out what type of summoning did I call into it. Okay, explanation mark, pet darkness 2. That's why I used to call it the pet. Okay. Over here. Roll down. Everyone is trying to kill me. Okay. You don't call me here. Insert. Go text. Okay. Played some RPG games with massive explosions, the same damage as rock throw. Yeah, one of the hard things with RPG Maker is balancing everything. And I think a lot of people, they kind of balance, I don't think they really scale it right. Or more accurately, they probably scaled the rock throw attack as just an early game skill that people will stop using later. Who knows? It depends on how they use it. I'm going to have to do a lot of justifications on skill learning and what they can do and so on forth and where to get it. Because one of the things I want to do is adjust the skill Wonder if I can do a Megami. Create a character that has like a stupid OP broken as fuck spell, but as soon as they cast it, they run out of MP. And because they run out of MP, you then have to use MP recovery items. Maybe make it so that they're stunned for a bit as well after they cast the spell. That will require us to make a new spell again. Kind of like how we made that lockdown skill. I think we can make a Megami. Okay. And then we, let's see now. Cancel. Fly. Okay. We need to name this one event underscore pets. Fly. Okay. Yeah, there's 100% going to be groups of kids like that. I've already long since passed the point where people don't even know what a cassette tape is. They don't know what a VCR is. God help me. There's a trend of going back to vinyl, so hopefully that's okay. Has my farm stopped operating? Weird. Oh, we've ran out of seeds. Okay, we're going to have to replant everything. Wonder when we ran out of seeds. There we go. Some of Maharaga. VCR were fun. I like the VHS would be sucked in. That's true. That was interesting. The quality of the VHSs were shit though. It was great. I loved it. It was an era of a lot of fun stuff. We have money. Oh, we do. We can get an upgrade. Oh. We might be able to skip Slate's barn and go straight into Splunk's house. Because that way we can go and... Wait, it depends. Can we immediately get... We can. We almost have enough to immediately erase that area and put all those houses up there. I'm going to do it. Okay, we do it again. Perfect. Now we clean out this. Yeah, all that technology vanishes over time. It can't be helped, that's just life, you know? Oh, we can't even fit that in there. Look at that. Dirty. Well, can we move you instead? Here we go. We grab you. And we put you here for the time being. Then once we move all that, we'll grab the barn and slap it down here. So yeah, that should keep going for a bit. Yeah. Unfortunately, in my case, my parents used to do that whole VHS in the van, in the camper van. Or not VHS, a TV in the camper van. But then my country passed this weird law where if you have a TV in separate locations, sorry, the TV license doesn't apply to the TV. It applies to the location of the TV, but it also applies to the TV in that you have to have one TV license per TV. I think that's how it goes. Anyway, you need a TV license for your location. So if you bring your TV to a caravan park to do, go on holiday, you need a TV license for the caravan park. So that's one of the weird things that happened in my country. Pissed off a lot of people. Okay, now let's see. Go animation. EV pet. Darkness 2. Insert. Control switches. Pet summon god. Okay. Light. Okay. Save. Now let's see what it looks like. You finally arrived? Where are you? Ah, forgive me. I forgot your kind fear what they cannot perceive. Better? A doll? A temporary vessel good enough to briefly converse with a mortal. Who are you? Ha! Ha! You're right. I never introduced myself. Oh god, I spelled that wrong. I am Fred. I am the one who wished you to this world, called you to this world. The one who provided you with your new vessel. The one who wishes for your aid. Fred? Yes? Sorry, it's nothing. Are you really the one who called me here? Yes, okay. I forgot the backslash on that N. Okay, why is that looping? Oh, that's just the extra dialogue that I didn't delete. Okay, and our pet's right there. Right. That should be fine for now. It's not the most dramatic by any means. I also like the fact that Fred kind of disarms the player for a second. Okay, there it is. This is what we forgot. Edit. Backslash. Okay. Apply. Okay. Save. Now let's see if that fixed it. There it is. I gave you your body and pet. That's important. Now, this is important, this line of dialogue. I gave you your body and pet. This god can make vessels. We'll have to work on that one. That's something I didn't really consider too deeply. This god can make, or at very least provide, vessels. Their soul was placed in this body, And this body was summoned to this world, but the question is is there anything unique to this body? Where did he get the body? Did he create it from nothing? Did he create it from parts? Or did he steal it? A lot of stuff have to be answered in the future, but I don't think it needs to be answered yes. That's a line of dialogue I keep forgetting to delete. We're not deleting it yet. Actually, I'm going to delete it. We don't need it because it's kind of interfering with my perspective of what's going on. Nope, we're not applying that change. I accidentally deleted the wrong thing. Here we go. Delete. Apply. Player's turn. Right. Player move one step back. And then let's see now. Set move route for S. If the pet move up 2, move up, okay. We'll have the pet and so no, we'll put a waste in here. A waste of 4, okay. Over here we'll put in a waste of 8, okay. And that moves, we have the set move route for the player. Set it to step forward, turn up. Okay, there won't be a waste here because we want it to happen at the same time. Then we have set move route. The dog spawns here. It went up 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3 because God moves down 1. So move 1, 2, 3. Turn left. Okay. Then that's, let's see now. 1, 2, 3. Set waste for a 12. Okay, apply. It's going to start talking again. Here. Show text. I give this one to you for your protection and company. Okay, apply. And one last thing. Let's see, set move routes. Player, pet, turn down. Okay, apply. Probably move that up 1. Okay, that should do. Let's see how that looks overall. You finally arrived. Where are you? Forgive me. I've got your kind fear what they cannot perceive. Better? A doll? A temporary vessel, good enough to briefly converse with a mortal. I'm gonna have to go through a fucking dictionary to relearn how to spell. Who are you? You're right. Never introduced myself. I am Fred. I am the one who called you to this world. The one who provided you with your new vessel. The one who wishes for your aid. Fred? Yes? Sorry, it's nothing. Are you really the one who caught me here? I'm gonna have to make my character turn upwards. I didn't set him to turn upwards. He's talking with his back to the doll. Yes, I gave you your body and pet. That's the current name of pet because we didn't change the name because we're not in the beginning of the game. Okay. That's two things that went very wrong. First things first. Okay. Maybe step move out. We'll take away the edit, the step back, and the step forward. No, we'll keep it. It's very fast though. It is. For now though, we'll worry about what we have. I didn't do that change that I wanted to do. Fuck. Right, so where is it? We did a turn down here. Edit. No. Set move routes. Turn up. Okay. Apply. That should be all we need to fix that one bug. Two bugs, actually. Finally arrived. Where are you? Forgive me. I've got your kind fear what they cannot perceive. Better? A doll? A temporary vessel, good enough to briefly converse with a mortal. Who are you? You're right. I never introduced... Intro... Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm the one who called you this world, the one who provided you with your new vessel, the one who wishes for your aid. Fred? Yes? Sorry, it's nothing. Are you really the one who caught me here? Yes, I gave you your body and... I'm gonna have to... Maybe I should move that down one. I gifted this one to you for your protection and company. The doll kind of has this floating aspect to it now that it's sitting right next to everyone else. Like if I go right up to it, boom. Yeah, look at that. It kind of looks like it's floating. Okay, that's the start of the conversation, apparently. All that. Almost 2 hours. And all that, all of it amounted to this. Just this. No, I can't. Leave it as is for now. I don't want to overthink it. It's not too bad. Anyway, I want to know what briefly spells like. Oh no, I spelled that wrong. This is the one that's wrong. Introduced, it's almost spelled like juice. Oh god, this game, how many hours will it take to beat? Complete. A lot longer than what I put into it. I'll say that much for nothing. Right now, we've been at this for how long? Like, in total? Actually, let me check. I've only ever used RPG Maker for this game since I picked it up on this system, on Steam. Steam's going to tell me that it's, what, RPG... 50 hours? We spent 50 hours developing the game so far. That's nothing. That's 2 days. That is nothing. It is going to be a long time. Like, we've only spent like an hour or two each week. Yeah, some people spend 38 hours a week. We spent 1 to 2 hours a week. And they could be there for years. But we already have a plan. And all we need is a bare skeleton. And then once we have our bare skeleton, we flesh it out from there. Which means we need the, like, as our battle plan said, give me a second, I'll see if I still have my battle plan. Where is it? No. US? Oh god, no. A US. Your game ideas, but you're not the pictures I saved. I don't know where the pictures are, but that's okay. Anyway. Yeah, just trust me that probably for the duration of my entire career, so long as I only put 2 hours a week into this game, we're probably not going to see this game completed for a very long time. A very time. It will be forever. You're trapped with me. There is no future. There is only me. Me, you, and the eternal damnation that is game development. Wonder if that came true. I couldn't see my microphone. Oh, it did go true. I'm inside your ear hole. Can you hear me? Can you hear me inside your ear hole? I am very raspy. I feel like I haven't drank in centuries. Give me your tea. All your tea. Anyway, gotta move. Oh, tailbone. Oh, no. That's sick into my soul. Binaural mics. They're super sensitive, if I remember correctly. Oh wait, did I finally move it? I finally moved it, which means we can now build this at least. Okay, we now have Slate's Barn, whatever the fuck that's doing. in development up here. I kind of want to move these two. I think we're going to need more room than we have. Oh, we have room. Kind of reminds you of the first episode of VTuber anime. In what way? We have to get our hands on Splunk's house, because he's going to make a huge difference in this whole planting stuff. First VTuber we watched this long. I'm proud to hear that. Right, that should do for now. We'll take that down so you can see the entire progress. This is our entire farm that we've developed together. So far it's great. Well, I'm glad to have you. Slowly corrupting you all. Very slowly. Ah. Okay, we've finally gotten to the point of the conversation where we can now talk to the god one-on-one. Because with the introduction of the pet and the pet standing by God's side, and the fact that the pet protected us that one time, and the fact that that pet was gifted to us by God, this god, Fred, I think we can now have a one-on-one conversation about everything. This is where the explanations come in. This is where we have to debate about the concept of gods. Not completely. We'll just give the bare rundown. We only need to know that there's a dictator god. They are opposing the dictator god. The dictator god created the circumstances they're in. It created the kingdom that's trying to... He wants us to help take it down, and promises a wish in the process, which he may or may not be able to grant. Thank you. I get that a lot every now and again. Well, actually, I get different opinions because I have different laughs. When I was younger, my most off-hinged laugh is so high-pitched you can't hear it. I've had people who heard my raspy laugh, and I've had kind of like I'm gasping, like a dog panting. And then you all have my evil laugh, my my you know, laughs. I know I have fun like this, so it kind of comes out like that. Wait. Can we ornament the walls? No, I don't want to ornament the walls. I want to keep this as is. Kind of make it look bare bones. Like there's some effort but no real conscious personalization. He's an evil gremlin disguised as a fluff creature. Right, before I get swamped, and because I did promise a second stream later, what I'm going to do You will. You will. So what I'm going to do before I get called off is I'm going to take an hour to get some food into my belly. Do I need a shower? I probably need a shower. I probably won't have a shower. After that, I'm going to come back and we're going to do that second stream I promised. I believe I have it scheduled as EDF. Yeah. And as for this, we'll finish this off another time. We're at a really good point though. We're at a very good point. This conversation has finally hit the point where we can have a one-on-one with God. We can finally get the deep lore. And then we can get set onto the rest of the game. Yeah, I've been awake for like 20 minutes before the stream started. Like, I woke up at a normal time, but I was kind of sick and volatile. And then I kind of just dropped and went back to bed. Then I woke up again. And then I went back to sleep again. And now I'm here. I think my reckless all-night streamings are catching up to me again. So. Make him voice lines. Make him? Oh, for Fred. That would actually be hilarious. But can you imagine a game with no dialogue and just suddenly Fred's there talking. Talking. At least laugh. Well, we can see about that. That'll be later when we actually have the ability to create our own sound files. I'm not 100% sure how to do that. Sure how to pull that off with my current setup. Doable. It's not impossible. Just something that has to be considered. So let's swap back to chatting. Yay. Yay. Hi. Anyway, before I lose my mind, and because I promised to stream, I'm going to have to fuck off. Did the VTuber anime get an update? Yes. No, that updates on Tuesdays, I think. Is it Tuesdays? No. That wasn't Tuesdays. I think that was Fridays. I think Tuesdays was the Magician Girl and the Evil Lieutenant. Before you're unhinged in a good way. Do you know I can be more unhinged? I can be like, I have been super unhinged before, and not in a good way. Like, I can get really antsy and really short with people if I'm awake for too long. Because if I'm awake for too long, I'll be conscious of the pains in my body. And when I get conscious of the pains in my body, I become super pissy. That's how it used to be. Now, not so much. I kind of have to live with the reality that I'm old. Where is it? Quit. Wait. Okay, I'm pretty sure I saved it. Kind of like the main character of a VTuber anime. Oh. Oh, what? Kind of like I put on an act, but in reality, I'm just a complete nutjob. But I don't put on the whole, I'm a sweet and pure soul. I don't do that, do I? I don't. No. I did see some of your older streams. You talk more now, less angst. Yeah, that's actually something I had to teach myself. I'm going to be straight up with you on this one. When I started, I knew that I had to learn how to talk. And I knew I had to learn how to talk to myself. So that's why I tried to develop a habit of talking about everything I see and to try and talk about the things I'm thinking of. I don't always do it. Once I get hyper focused, my habit of just not talking just kicks in. You've probably seen it a few times, especially when I was playing EDF in hard mode. When I locked into a mission, I just got super quiet. And then things happened. Then I scream. I wonder why I'm going... Whoa. I got deals earlier today. I got like 6 pot noodles for like $2.50. Which is great, because it's like 2 for $2.50, but I got 6 for $2.50 because they were trying to get rid of them and they couldn't shift them. So they're like, hey, do you want them? Because they knew I bought pot noodles. So they did, and I did. It was great. You're fun for that. Thank you. The last thing I want to be is boring for people. It's also why I became a VTuber, because I knew from the start, because I have large bouts of not talking, I needed people to have something to look at. So my cute, sexy self had to be on screen. So here I am, you know? So, yeah. If I'm not talking, at least you can look at me. And if you have Twitch, you can head pat me, assuming that the head pat machines don't break. Let me check if it's broken again. It was working this morning. Fuck, it broke again. Okay, biblically accurate me coming in probably 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, no. 5 seconds. Oh. Get something to eat. I could. Ha! Fixed. I want to know why that's breaking. Wonder if it's on my end. I wonder if my connection is like cracking every now and again. Haha! Head pats. Ha! But yeah, no, that was weird. The head pat machine was working when I started. Well, the boot machine was working at least. Then it just broke again. Aha! Head pats. But you going again? Oh, head pat 2 didn't work. But head pat dot did. Huh. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye out on Twitch, because this is all on Twitch's end. I can't blame YouTube for this. If something happens to ChatCat, then I blame YouTube. Yeah, it doesn't last long. Yeah. Yep, it's dead again. I just put in a boop and it just stopped. I don't know what it is. It just dies. Anyway, we're here now. And I need food. So, in 1 hour, in 55 minutes, we'll pop back in for 15 seconds and then yeah, I want to know what's the problem with that. Maybe I'm going to have to reset my my connection key, whatever that connection key is. Yep, and in about 54 minutes we'll be playing a bit of EDF. Just to pass the time. I might be mostly grinding because I want to get some of my gear leveled up. Turns out that, remember that last mission we did with all the grenadiers and only grenadiers? Turns out it's a great farming spot. So we're going to be farming there, which unfortunately means Gumba is going to be, yeah. So, see you in a bit. So, the usual outro. For those who have come here to watch, thank you. For those who have chatted, thank you. For those who lurk, thank you. I know you're there. You're always there. I can see you. I can smell you. And for those who might see this in the future, please pop in again in the future. Always want more sacrifices. Good luck. Goodbye. I wish you all the best. I am getting dinner. Goodbye.